a big hello and welcome to my show Unbound. I'm your host, Mamta, a space curated for real stories of people from different walks of life who have sailed through uncharted waters and lived to tell their inspiring stories. It's a deep dive into their journeys to unravel, unearth, uncover various facets of their lives as they remain unstoppable and continue to do the unthinkable. As they open up about their life with me, I'm sure you will find nuggets of wisdom to live unbound too. So let's unbound together. I'm going to open the show today with a popular quote from a famous magician, James Randi. Magicians are the most honest people in the world. They tell you they are going to fool you and then they do it. Yes, one such magician, a mind trainer, motivator, mentor, audience engagement specialist, mentalist, and mystifier, we have with us today Dr. Kruti Parekh, a dynamic and multifaceted personality who has made her mark as the world's premier female mentalist, youngest artistic illusionist, visionary social entrepreneur, and a highly sought global motivational speaker and mind trainer. And I am glad to have her on my show today. Hello, Dr. Kruti. How are you doing today? Welcome to the show Unbound.
Thank you, Mamta. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
Wow, there is just so much to be spoken that I don't even know where to begin from. Only if I continue to introduce you, it'll take half an hour.
Oh, you're just being kind.
Yo, trust me. Like when I looked through your profile and I really didn't know what to highlight and what not. So why don't we begin right from the start? How about being a magician, a mentalist, this journey? Where did the idea come from? Just tell us all about it.
So only a way I'd like to say magic got into me is I also happen to be one of India's first test tube babies. Therefore, I can say magic is my birthright. Other than that, there really hasn't been any form of magic present in my life. Like my parents belong to a business family. I don't have any friends, relatives who are into magic. So it's been self-taught, and that's how magic has happened. So I would really like to say that I don't think I chose magic, but magic somewhere chose me.
Wow, those are some very fascinating facts. Magic chose you and you're India's first test tube baby. So how did the journey really started? When did you really figure it out that you were born with this or for this?
So when I was 5 years old, I happened to go to Lonavala for a holiday and with my parents. And I just saw a magic show for the very first time in my life. And I was amazed. I didn't know how this bird was vanishing from this place and how the ball was going from one person's pocket to another person's pocket, how entire, this magic was really working. And I was in awe. I was so curious that I went up to the magician. I asked him, can you please teach me the tricks? But just to get rid of me, because I was really, really pestering him, just to get rid of me, he taught me 2 or 3 tricks so that he could sleep in peace. And I learned those tricks and I was excited. I went around showing the magic to everyone. Back to Bombay, back to school, and everything was forgotten. After a few months, I just happened to go to Fantasyland, which is like Disneyland in Bombay. And there I happened to see my second magic show ever. And this time, I was able to understand how this guy is doing the magic. And I went up on stage post the show and I requested him, can I please perform a few tricks? So again, sometimes kids just come up and say anything. So he thought I was one of those kids. And he said, yeah, come and perform. So when I performed the show with 2 or 3 of his tricks, I performed for the audience there. Everybody was in awe and they said, oh, how did you do this magic? And you're such a young girl. And they started telling their children, look, you should be like her. And they started taking pictures with me and started taking my autographs and all. And the 5-year-old kid that I was, I said, wow, this is amazing. When I get 100 on 100 in mathematics, nobody takes my photograph. Nobody takes an autograph with me. So I really want to do this. This is something interesting. I want to pursue this. So that's how it began. And post that, there was no way to learn magic because I did not belong to the era of YouTube at that time. wherein we had access to the international videos. So it was predominantly more self-taught by reading some books or by watching other magicians' videos and trying to figure out how everything was done.
Wow. So it's indeed the magic of fame and getting known that got rubbed onto you.
Yes, you can say that.
And what about your parents? Were they always very supportive? What's their background and what was their understanding of this as a branch of learning, or is it only a talent? What would you call magic as? If it can be an acquired skill, or is it something that you are, some part of it that you're also born with?
So, answering your first question, my father is a businessman, and we're a Gujarati family, a simple Gujarati family. So there's no magic or anything done other than just I wanted to learn magic, and my parents were supportive in the sense you want to go to dance class, you want to go to learn music, you want to learn instruments and stuff. So they said, okay, fine, if you want to learn magic, go learn magic. Just as a small hobby that I was interested in, or something would just caught my eye, and maybe after 2 months or something I would just leave it and take to something else. That was their support initially when it all started. But when they saw that I had a unique liking for magic and I was really interested, they said, okay, maybe we can look into what she wants to do. And because we had no avenues, they started looking for avenues to give me that magic background, to give me an environment where I could learn magic, to understand magic, etc. So they were supportive in that format. And post that, as I said, magic really chose me, because one opportunity after the other, it just went on growing. And at the age of 8, I actually performed my first illusion show, which was with 40 assistants and at the venue called the Bharati Vidya Bhavan. And that was an illusion show, a 3-hour illusion show, where I'm cutting people into two, vanishing people, levitating people, etc.
At the age of 8 years?
Yes.
I mean, where did this conviction come to you? I mean, of course, it must have been a very slow self-discovery, or did you just know it? Like when you saw this magician, went up to the stage, did your tricks, was that eureka moment for you that you knew it, that you were meant for it, or did it happen very slowly and gradually?
Everything just happened, sometimes we say things just fall into place. So it was like that. So initially it started off with this one magician, but there was no formal learning for me, right? So I was just reading books and all. And one day, because I was doing other art forms, so I was also a very good Bharatanatyam dancer. I used to dance Kathak. I used to play the tabla, the violin, the piano. I was a roller skating national champion. So I was doing a lot of activities there. And therefore, I got featured on the show called Jangli Tufan Tire Puncture on ZTV. And they were giving platforms to young artists, who were performing well and, like a child prodigy. So because I was doing a lot of these things, they got me featured on the show. And I also did some of the magic tricks, which I knew. So my teacher, Mr. William Zambago, he saw me on that show and he called up my father saying that, do you want your daughter to do really big magic stuff? Because what she's doing right now, she may be able to perform a show for 50 people or maximum 100 people. But if you want her to make a name and fame in this field, then she needs to learn what I have to offer. So that's the moment where my father said, yeah, why not? Because he wanted me to learn. So my guru, he just gave the address and told my father, why don't you just bring her here and we will discuss further.
Where was this?
So this was in Colaba. And he was actually staying in a small studio of his friend. He was literally in the last days of his life. So when you really say everything falls into place, or probably it was destined to be, I think that it was really destined to be. Because he was in the last phase of his life. He called my father. We went there and he saw me and he said, oh, she's so young. I don't think she will be able to learn the big stuff. And I said, no, don't worry. If you want, you can take a test of mine. If I pass, only then give me a chance. So he said, okay, fine. And he gave me the iconic cutting a lady into two, which is like considered a grand illusion at that point of time. He said, you have to do this. And I said, okay. And he explained me what the method was. Now, the biggest challenge was the table was higher than me. So how do I stand on that and how do I cut the girl? The saw which was used to cut the girl was more than my weight at that point of time. So how do I execute this? This was a big challenge, and that is something which was pulling him back from teaching me the math. So I said, don't worry. This is not a big task for me. I told his assistant, please bring me that small table from there. Keep it down. I, climbed the table, and I told the assistant, you hold the saw in your hand. And when it was time to let go, I just let go of the sword. So it had to directly go wherever it was supposed to go. And I was able to execute the act. So when my guru saw this, that I do have a knack of performing magic, understanding what it is, how it is, and how I should be executing it, that's where he said, okay, I think I'm convinced and I'm going to teach you all my magic. And he taught me all the magic that he knew. He gave me all his magic illusion apparatus, which were worth lakhs of rupees for free. And he just took a promise from me. He said, I'm in the last leg of my life. I don't know how many more days or how many more months I'm going to live. But I want a promise from you that you will make my art form live another 100.
Very well, very well. Kudos to you, Kruti. And indeed, you have really followed his wisdom, his advice, and his legacy forward. So awesome. This is quite an inspiring piece. Tell us a little more about how was it for you to grow as a normal child with magical ability. So would you actually be the naughty one in the class and do all those tricks?
Of course, I've done everything. In fact, I would give this credit to my parents that they did not let me lose my childhood. So they just said that if you want to do this, you will have to work harder, but you are not going to miss school. You're not going to bunk school. And failing in class is not an option for you, like every other parent would, put an ultimatum for the child. So I was studying, and post my school hours, I would, if I had some shows, I would go and do my shows, and I had to do my homework on time. I had to perform well in class, and touch wood, with the help of my parents, I was really able to even excel in school. So I was amongst the top 5, ranks in class. I was doing my performances. So I must say that I have had a really wonderful childhood. And thanks to my parents who did not allow me to lose my childhood. So you have to perform. You cannot miss classes. You cannot bunk classes. You cannot bunk school and do your other activities. So thanks to them that today I have not let that go. And I'm an IT engineer myself. I have done everything that a child should have done, or that a person should have done. But I'm also pursuing my passion. But I wasn't very sure about it because I was doing well, I was being appreciated. So obviously you like it and you're doing it, but you're still studying. So you're still independent. You're still, with your parents, you're still figuring out things in your life. So these were the things. And then I tried a lot of different things. So I started working, opportunities started coming in. Started from smaller shows, started doing corporate work, started figuring out new things that I could create.
At Unbound, we believe in the power of unhinged minds and untamed ideas of people from all walks of life. As we sit down to talk with some of them, we are listening to your voice as well. So share your thoughts, ideas, or takeaways from this podcast as a review on Apple Podcasts, or just drop us a message on Instagram @unboundwithmamta, @UNBOUNDWITHMAMTAA. You can also mail us at unboundwithmamta, UNBOUNDWITHMAMTAA And remember to subscribe and follow this podcast and stay connected with us.
So going back to your profile, since it very interestingly charts out, and actually, Kruti, I have never come across with even these words before, honestly, let alone the whole concept of having a profession around this. Being a mind trainer, I get it. Audience engagement specialist and a mystifier. So how do you wriggle your ways through this and understand that this is what I do, or this is what my core competence is, and then design something around it? And were you doing all of this all by yourself, or were there people who were supporting you? There were collaborations that were happening. How was this unfolding for you, this whole professional chart? within the domain of magic? Like, how did you come to this understanding? Okay, I can call myself this. Okay, this could be another module that I can bring upon. This is something that people need. This is something that I can call myself. How did that positioning begin to happen for you?
So what started happening is, during that entire course of my journey from my childhood, I had also been doing a lot of these kind of magic with a cause. Because, so say for example, I had developed an environmental magic show, and for which I won the United Nations Award. I had, curated stuff where I was doing, different kinds of magic, magic for product launches. The opportunities started coming. Can you do something like this? Can you do something like this? And the opportunities came, and I grabbed those opportunities. I, with my parents, would sit down and make some script and, figure out something. What can be done with this kind of magic element? Because we had the educational part of it also. We were not just looking at it at that time as a profession only. It was a creative aspect of our lives. So I was figuring those things out. And when now I was on my own, I said, why not tap into these opportunities? So I tried to figure out what would be the different ways that I could work. So I had a corporate background to it. I had an education background to it. I had, a media background to it. So I had all these things that I had learned. So I said, let's curate something which is a little different. So I started working on the mind and the mind magic and, things that you can do with the mind. So again, in my growing up process, I was also somebody who was inclined towards the Bhagavad Gita. And as a kid, as one of the things which many things that I was doing, I could also recite the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita by heart. Okay, so this was there, and I had participated in certain competitions, etc.
How much more talent and how much creativity will I bring on this show in just one episode? It's very difficult for me. I briefly read this in your biography, but how come an inclination to the Upanishads and the Vedas, and at such a young age, and then integrating it with your creative inborn talent, and then producing and churning out something which is fitting to the market and the consumer's need for now? I mean, so I see you as a career developer or a career designer. I see you as an entrepreneur. I definitely see you as a creative talent, like a pool of talent. And then there's the scholarly and academician side to you. So isn't it too much to handle?
No, you have only one life, right?
Give us some bit of it, right? Some magic dust. करते कैसे हो ये क्या है? ये mind reading, ये magic क्या सच में सिर्फ एक mind play ही है, या इसमें actually कुछ level of intuitiveness, talent, creativity, कुछ आपका अपना भी है जो उसमें जाता है? What is magic?
What is magic? Magic is the art form, I would say, where logic fails, magic starts.
That's wordplay.
You said at the beginning of the show, a magician is the most honest person. He tells you he's going to fool you and fools you.
Absolutely.
So we are being very honest. So it's where your logic fails, that, this cannot be possible. And we do that. That's what our job is. That's what we do day in and day out. And that's also a beautiful thing, because magic is a form of attitude, that every day we are making the impossible possible.
So you are actually making magic a reality.
And yeah, I would say that. I would really say that. So it's also, crazy to say that, because magic is something that beats reality. So I'm just taking the same thing and, working on it. So I will just say is I make imaginations really come to life.
All right. One thing you would like to change about our education system, just a one-word answer.
Add more vocational trainings.
Mm-hmm. One thing you really wish that you knew in your younger ages, like early 20s.
It doesn't matter what people say.
All right. One thing you wish never existed in this world.
Hypocrites.
Okay. One thing you would certainly like to unlearn in this lifetime.
Nothing.
Fun to you is?
Fun to me is travel.
Love to you is?
Dream.
Life to you is?
Life to me is fun.
And what is the most magical moment that you've had on this planet so far?
I think the most magical moment is when magic chose me.
Wow. Thank you so much, Kruti, for really being unbound. Wish you a lot of luck and a lot of success ahead.
Thank you so much, Mamta. It was a pleasure to interact with you. And thank you for having me on your show. And I hope you've had a great time and you have been amazed on the show.
Absolutely. You're a great human, great entertainer, and you are a master of your craft.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I would love to know from you what idea or insight you unboxed from today's conversation. Just drop me a message over LinkedIn or in my inbox, and remember to follow this podcast so that when the next episode drops, you can join me for yet another one too. Keep coming and keep unbounding. Till then, this is your host Mamta signing off.